Dear Master, so today we continue to have a visa to enter to Nevada, and is this the second part? No stealing, stuff like that, right? So I will change the time in a little bit later, okay? Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. And dear Master, and dear all the people in the room, and today is August 29, 2011, and today we had opportunity together to study the Buddha teaching is sincerely and contemplative. I would ask the Master Venerable to commence the lesson with the topic and visa to enter Nirvana, and I call upon you to present the topic without benefit, and thank you very much. I ask you, we all be calm and keep quiet, so concentrate to your breath and welcome the Master to give us the lesson. Thank you very much. I'm giving you the microphone. Thank you.
It's great. I congratulate Hades for the introduction, and welcome everybody to our English Drama Forum. Before we commence lesson today, I sincerely ask you to be contemplative, and we shall pray to the Buddhas before we commence the lesson today. Listen to the bell first. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Tassa Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa, Namo Tassa Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa, Namo Tassa Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. May the Dhamma light shine upon every darkest spot of the universal ignorance. May the Dhamma sounds penetrate into the universal prolonged sufferings of human minds in the past, present, and future. May the Dhamma wisdom eternally dissolve all the sufferings from the people of all people beings, all human beings, and all sentient beings. May peace, joy, happiness, harmonies be with you now and here. Thank you very much for the attending our lesson today. And today is I'm presenting these topics in the Thiên Phước Temple, and I just put the webcam so everybody can see me. Can you see the webcam both in the Power Talks and in Justin TV? Today we are going to study the second condition for the obtaining the visa to enter the Nirvana. Yesterday we studied the first condition, which is not to kill, no killing. And you can see me now, the Venerable Tâm Thánh. Welcome everybody. The second condition is the not stealing. Not stealing. What do you mean by stealing? Stealing is you take the possession of something which does not belong to you, and you take it deliberately with intention not to return it to the original owner. You take it without their permission. That means stealing. So number one, you take some things which belong to some other people, and you know that that things does not belong to you. Number two, without the permission of the true owner. And number three, you have intention to convert these things into your ownership. So that's about the stealing. So why stealing is important? Why stealing is important? Because stealing is a conversion act of all the material thing which belong to somebody else, which not belong to you, and that will cause a chaos in the society. You believe that if the children steal the goods, money from the father and mother, you see how the family will be destructive, and nobody can survive. The simple reason is nobody can build the wealth and trust between the family members. And every material things in a family, in a community, will be destructive. So stealing is important. In a material sense, it causes stabilities in the family, causes stabilities in the society, causes social orders and peace, because you don't have to worry about what belongs to you, and you have no intention to steal other people's money or things. The important thing is not just about material things, which we all know until now. The all material thing is nothing, because it's the illusion. It come and goes, money come and money goes. Cars, one day the car broken down. So what can you do with all these things? It's useless. The only thing which is good is the spiritual development. By not stealing, you are not committing to the bad acts. So stealing must have three faculties or three residents. One is in your mind, second one is in your speech, and third one is in your action, in your body. Now, how can you steal something by just by your mind or your intention? Yes, you can commit the acts of the robbery or stealing just by the intention. You know why? Because the intention is important. Your intention repeated day to day and moments by moments will cause what we call the karma, and that karma will lead you to another world, and you will be born again and again. So by not committing the act of stealing, you will actually purify your mind, and you will get away from the cycle of death and birth, and you never be born again. So do you want to be born again? If you want to be born again, then you are going to commit the act of stealing the goods, stealing the even the intellectual property, even stealing the idea, even stealing something is just by intention, by imagination. So stealing first came from your mind because you have intention to commit stealing, and then you will carry out the act of stealing. If you don't have intention to steal, you wouldn't bother to look in any material things. Remember that one day, the Buddha passing the Buddha and the I think the Nandala, the his disciple, both of them walking across the field, and the Nandala saw a bag of gold in the bags, and he said, "Buddha, there's a gold in the bag." The Buddha said, "No, it's not the gold. It's a cobra. You know cobra, very poison snake." And Ananda said, "Yes, yes, Buddha, that's the cobra." And both of them left the field, and very soon, the farmer went across and he picked up the bag of gold, and he was in prison. He was beaten nearly to death. And when the Buddha heard that story, the Buddha told Nanda go to see the king and tell the king that somebody dropped the bag of gold in the fields, and Buddhas and Nanda actually saw it, but they didn't touch it. So the kings released the farmer because they realized that the farmer was innocent. He just picked up the bags of gold. Okay, that story tells you one thing: so don't touch anything which does not belong to you. Even if somebody drop it on the ground, if you pick it up, you pick up something disaster. It may cause a disastrous influence or the consequence to your body, your family, your reputation, and even your community. So don't touch anything which does not belong to you. Now that's the intention, the mind. You have to purify your mind by not touching anything, not have a temptation to touch anything, not having the temptation to take any possession of anything which does not belong to you. As a Buddhist practitioner, we should go further than that. We go to the extension that even if you don't need it, you don't have to take it. If you don't need it, don't never touch it. Okay, even if the owner, the true owner, said to you, okay, they give it to you, but if you are not in the necessity, you are not in urgent need for that material thing, just forget it, because it causes too much trouble. I give you one example. If somebody give you a car, and then you know that you have a car already, but they say, oh, no, I give you a new car, and you have a temptation to get the new car for nothing, and actually you are, that we call the implicit stealing act, because you don't need it, but you still want more. So you develop a bad habit, and that bad habit will go into the karma, which destroy your potential to get out of the life cycle, life and death cycle, and you will go around the 3 realms and 6 ways. It's no good. So if you want to not to be born again, and then you have to run away and not to steal. Even if the people give you with the permission, and when you look at it, and if you don't really need it, you have one already, why should you have another one? Is there any people who in the forum want a second one? That's just material thing. I tell you, so if you have the husband, you want a second husband or not? One is more problem already. So why you have another one? And man, do you want another wife? You have one wife already, you got a headache already. Every day she's nagging, and then do you want another wife, a second wife? So resist your temptation, okay? Resist your temptation. Don't get another thing which you don't need it, you know. If you want a husband and wife, just have one, okay? If you have a second one, you cause a disaster. And it developed the bad karma. And you know, the bad karma will drive you to the life and death cycle, and it run around and around for many centuries, many lives, and we don't want that. So stop temptation, okay? Stop temptation, because the temptation will poison your minds and cause you to commit the act of stealing. Stealing has many ways to steal. One is directly, another one indirectly. Indirectly is you ask somebody to give it to you, and you cheat them because they don't know that you don't need that, but you still tell them about something. You can tell them, okay, give it to me, and $1, and another year I give you $100 back. But you know, inside your heart, inside your mind, you are telling a lie. You are not telling the truth. That is the act of stealing. Even if the people who are in a possession of, or the true owner of the thing, or in a possession of the thing, actually surrender it to you, give it to you voluntarily. However, you still commit the act of stealing because you used your intellectual power to overcome them, to tell them a lie. So to tell people a lie in order to get the thing you want is also the act of the stealing. Okay, it's the act of stealing. So stealing has many manifestations. One is direct, another one is indirect, and it can be the verbal stealing, because you tell people and they surrender the ownership or the material thing to you, and it's actually the verbal stealing. Okay, you never heard in a sutra talking about the verbal stealing, and now I am telling you that there is a verbal stealing. Okay, verbal stealing. You are cheating some people to get the thing you want. That's a verbal stealing, because they surrender the ownership in the trust that you are telling the truth. That's a verbal stealing. Now, the act of stealing will cause a consequence which influence the karma, and the karma will push you into the cycles of life and death. You will go around for many centuries and many lives. So don't commit the stealing. Number one, don't try to steal the thing will not belong to them, not belong to you, and don't try to use the verbal or the implicit stealing, because even indirectly you still commit the act of stealing. Or you don't support somebody who commit the stealing, and they say, okay, if you help me after I steal the goods, I will give you the half of that, you know. So it's sharing responsibility and sharing the benefit, and this whole thing is just stealing. Number three, don't think that you make sacrifice to steal something for the benefit of your family. Some people say, okay, my children are hungry, my children are starving, and I need to steal some money from other people to feed my children. And you know that the consequence is you bear the consequence, not the children. The children enjoy the fruit, but you bear the consequence. You go to hell. You see? Don't steal something for the benefit of your family, because at the end your family always have the consequence. They all bear the burden of truth. They all bear the burden of the karma. The karmas never stop in you. They run up to the children and anyone who enjoy the benefit of the stealing. Okay, so we know that stealing have many ways, direct or indirect, say by mind, by speech, by action, by active or negative or passive, or the omission. Say if someone who commit the act of stealing, but if you see it and you just ignore it, you just say, okay, it's not my business to be involved, so you just run away. It's no good. You can call the police, you can do something to stop them to steal. If you don't do it, we call the omission to act. That kind of mission to act is the accessory to the fact, which means you're supporting the idea of stealing, and you are partially responsible for the stealing. It goes into your karma. Okay, so we have the stealing, we have the mental stealing, we have the verbal stealing, we have the act of stealing, and we also have the direct stealing, we have the indirect stealing, we have the active stealing, we have the passive stealing, we have the omission to steal, to do something to stop the stealing. All these things we call the stealings in general. Okay, so why Buddha set up the rule for not stealing? What is the benefit for a Buddhist practitioner? Number one, it maintains the stability in the community, because if you don't steal other people goods and everybody is happy, nobody get angry, nobody get upset, and no violence, no criminal, and it brings the benefit to the community. Number two, it brings the benefit to you, because you don't cause any bad karma, and you will not be born again and again. Number three is it will develop a good personality. Everybody will love you because you are honest, you are generous. Number four, which is vitally important for the Buddhist practitioner, you know what it is? It's the practice of the karma, good karma. Because if you don't steal and you feel peace inside yourself, you peace in the mind because you don't steal, and you don't feel sorry, you don't feel the bad consequence. And then, if you are purify your mind in that way, you can penetrate into the meditation. You can go up to the first step of meditation, a second stage of meditation, and even a third stage or fourth stage in meditation, which we call jhana. Why? Because stealing will disturb your mind. Number one, it causes temptation, increase temptation. Number two, it will not disturb your mind because you are not thinking about the stealing. And number four is prevent the future commitment, future committed criminal acts, which disturb your mind about the stealing. So in general, stealing has many very good, not committing the stealing, have many good consequences for the practitioner. Because you respect people property, and then you try to protect it in any ways, it develops the good karma. And good cause will generate good consequences. And of course, you will enjoy the benefit of the good karma. And people will respect you. And you are a good citizen. You develop good quality of the personality. But one thing I didn't tell you. You know what is important? The most important thing for the Buddhist practitioner. What? The Buddha always said the main principle of Buddhist practitioner is to drop everything. To drop everything. So if you don't steal, and then immediately in your mind you perceive the thing clearly as it is, you know that all the material thing is constituted by the illusion, by perception. So you are not attaching to anything. Because you are not attaching to anything, you feel everything is empty. And if you feel that even your body is empty, all the material thing is empty, and then you actually enter the nirvana, the peaceful state of mind. You see, that's a critical thing. Because if you don't attach to anything, you don't have temptation about anything, to steal anything, You don't have the bad speech about the stealing, and you have no discriminating minds about the material things and even your body, and you don't have a temptation to steal, and that develop the good karma which support you to enter the nirvana. Nirvana is a state of mind which is very peaceful and very harmonious with the environment, and if you love everybody, you respect their property, and then you don't have temptation. And if you don't have temptation, your mind will be purified and clean and peace and calm. And that way, you is one condition to enter the nirvana. So, do not steal is the what we call the negative order or negative action to prevent the disturbance of mind. But there is a positive ways to handle it. You know what it is? You know what it is? The positive way of the stealing. When we say don't steal, we are talking about negative prohibition, not to steal. But as a Buddhist practitioner, we do something more positive. What it is? Can anybody tell me? What a positive act of the not stealing? Donation, giving it away. The more you give, the best peace of mind you have. Donation, generous donation, or generosity, or generous donation, or give away. Because if you see everything's empty, nothing's important, even your body, you can give it away. You know, in the sutra, Buddha taught us many times in many past life. He even gave his body away. You remember that he gave his body to the tiger. The tiger eat his body, so he feed the tigers by his own body. What it means? It means that once you appreciate the emptiness in your bodies, you are prepared to give it away. Even your body, you can give it away. So why should you raise the temptation about something else? You see? So not stealing is a prohibition. It has a negative impact on your practice. But generosity and give it away have a positive impact. So you have two sides of the coins. On the one side, you have a negative action. On the other side, you have a positive action. The negative action is the prohibition of stealing. And the positive action, positive side is generosity and donation and give it away. So if you put two together, you will become the best Buddhist practitioner, and you can satisfy the second condition to enter the nirvana. I think I stop here. I'm sorry for today's delay of the lesson because I have some religious commitment. But anyways, we still have the lesson today. I fulfill my obligation. And do you fulfill your obligation as a student? You have to learn, you have to analyze, think, and implement it, practicing it. You're not just talking and listening. You have to do it in your daily life, not to steal from other people, and have to think about the act of stealing, the speech of stealing, and even the mind, to purify your mind, not raising the temptation. And also talking to the people about not stealing. There's only one side of the coin. It's a negative. You also have to practice the positive ways. Maybe the giving something away, donating something away. Donation, I will talk later. There are many ways to donate a thing, not just the material thing. Also your effort, your action, your mind. But all these things, the Buddha Buddha talks about the not stealing. Actually, the act of not stealing is the one who stop the temptation and purify our mind. And without the purification of our mind, we will not be able to enter the Nibbana. And I stopped the lesson today, and I still put the webcam. If anybody want to see the webcam, want to see my face, to see how ugly I am, just look at it. It's very ugly monks and very simple monk. Okay, thank you very much. And you can see the webcam.
Thank you, dear Master. You're so funny. Thank you for the lesson today. It was great. And that's the lesson in the law, whatever you say. Number 2 is not stealing by giving. That is so wonderful. And for other people, I try to tell them, but they don't want to believe it. They say, whatever in their hand is their hand. Whatever out their hand is not in the hand. So they're not giving. But I have seen they from having money until the day they don't have much money and poor. And I still remind, but they don't want to believe it. I don't know what else to say. And another time I read, I believe, with the sutra called Kinh Phạm Dũng, and it also tells a story that the man had been running away from probably like tigers, and he tried to run, and finally he trapped in in the well, and he's suffering and he cannot get up, but by the time, he can get it up, but he get out. He get killed by the tiger anyway, but he know he's dying. Instead of dying in the well, he will make the well water dirty, so it's not good for other people. He will, pollute the water. So he figured out, well, I'm dying anyway. If I'm coming now, I get killed by tigers. But I'm in here, I'm dying anyway. So he decided the last minute of his life that he coming out, so he feed the tigers. So that's what he did. I think that was great. But thank you. And anybody has a question, and Master Minh Tâm will help you explain. So I'm surrender the microphone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very good sharing of experience, Heidi. And I thank you, everybody. Okay, I saw that somebody want to speak. So I give you the microphone. You can ask a question. I invite you to pick up the phone, please. Okay, so for whatever reason, you may be shy, or your microphone's not working, or you don't want to pick up the phone. Doesn't matter. So I'm here to answer any question. If you want to ask me, just ask me now. I will tell you. Today's topic is the second condition to obtain the visa to enter the Nirvana. The second condition is the second condition is not stealing. Okay, not stealing. That's the second condition, and I have some analyzed it already. Anybody who want to ask any question? Venerable Tamtan, please. Are you shy? Don't be shy. Yes, monks and nuns never shy. It's our obligation to propagandize the Buddha Dharma. We have to do it. We have to sacrifice ourselves for the benefit of all the beings on earth. That's our mission. Okay, you don't have any question. Okay, thank you. Anyways, if you don't have any question, you don't have anything to share, and I will close the session today. And I ask you to be contemplative, and we will listen to the bell, and then we pray for the closing session, and we will pray for the dedication as well. Listen to the bell first. Heidi has a question. Okay, go ahead, Heidi. I'm waiting for you.
As we learn in Buddhism, and we understand really well how to not to steal, and how we gonna do giving is the how we build up, our let's see, footbeing, okay, and by donating, and how can I help other people to believe what I believe, by, giving those. And like I say, I try to tell them, but they don't want to believe what I say. So what can I do, or whatever? Okay, I'm giving back the microphone. Thank you, Master.
Well, that's a very good question. It's a very practical question. But you don't have to ask people to give the donation, because if they don't want to, only telling them that by example, say if you want to make investment, you have to make some deposit into the bank, and your money will generate the interest, and the interest will be accumulated for a long time. Say if today you put $100, 10 years later you can have 100,000. Like you're growing a trees, you see, you put only small seed of lemons under the ground, and after 3 years you have the lemon trees. Lemon trees will bear a lemon fruit, which every year you get about 1,000 lemon fruit. So if you put a lemon seed, very small, like a little one, under the ground, after 3 or 4 years you have the lemon fruit, a thousand of lemon fruit. So don't be afraid to make a donation. Don't be afraid to be generous, because generous bring the good consequence, good karma, and produce a good quality of life, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy 100,000 times the benefit which generate only by the small donation, because it's not the act, it's not the material thing, it's not the act which cause the good consequence, but the intention. The intention is very good. That's true. The Venerable Tamtan is very correct. She's very correct. Exactly. Okay. Now we are commencing the closing of the today lesson about the second condition for the obtaining the visa to enter the Nirvana. And I ask you to be contemplative. We listen to the bell, and then we pray. Nam mô Buddhaya, Nam mô Dhammaya, Nam mô Sanghaya, Nam mô Buddhaya, Nam mô Dhammaya, Nam mô Sanghaya, Nam mô Buddhaya, Nam mô Dhammaya, Nam mô Sanghaya. We call upon the Buddhas of 10 directions, past, future, and present. Today we gather together to learn about the teachings of the Buddha 25 centuries ago. And today we learn about the second condition, which is the second precept, vitally important for the Buddhist practitioner. And that second precept is not stealing. And we are talking about the positive stealing and negative stealing, passive stealing, and the omission to prevent the stealing. We're also talking about the stealing which can be contaminating the mind, the speech, and the act. We're also talking about the consequence to be actively engaged in the donation, in generosity, which is another side of the not stealing prohibition. So the not stealing precept has two sides of the coins. One side is not to steal anything which does not belong to you, or is without the true owner permission, without the necessities or urgent need from your part. And the other side of not stealing is to donate your things generously. To develop the generosity is to purify your minds, because in doing so you will comprehend that all the material things is just illusion. It comes and goes, it impermanence, and it will stabilize your mind, and you can enter the nirvana, even the second or third stage of the jhana. And during our learning today, if we cultivate any merits, we sincerely dedicate all the merits to the all beings on earth in the past, present, and the future for their liberation of the suffering. And we thank you very much for guiding us, and we pray so to the Buddha. Thank you very much, my colleagues, my friends, monks and nuns. And now I declare closing of the session. Before I close, I wish you well, and I congratulate for your participation. I wish you well that you will enjoy the benefit of today. Today is a good day, and do not steal anything from any other people. Do not raise any temptation to steal. And please give a donation generously. To develop generosity is a vital important part for the Buddhist practitioner. Even in your mind, even in your sleep, don't try to steal something when you are sleeping. Thank you very much, and I declare closing of the lesson today. If you want to ask any question, you want to summarize in Vietnamese? Do you want to summarize in Vietnamese or not? Or not necessary? You all understand? Okay, I give you a summary in Vietnamese. Điều kiện thứ nhì để có thể có được cái visa để vào cõi Niết Bàn mà Đức Phật đã dạy cho chúng ta trong 5 giới cấm, đó là không có trộm cắp. Không có trộm cắp nó đi vào 3 thành phần. Thứ nhất là nơi cái tâm, thứ nhì là nơi cái khẩu, và thứ ba là nơi cái hành động. Thế thì cái tâm nghĩ tới hoặc là muốn cũng là đã trộm cắp rồi, chứ không cần phải lấy của người ta. Cái miệng cũng vậy, cái miệng nó xúi người ta lấy để người ta chia cho mình, hoặc là thấy người ta lấy trộm mà mình không cản thì cũng là ăn trộm, cũng là trộm cắp. Cái thứ ba, lấy mà người ta đồng ý cho vì người ta không biết, người ta ngộ nhận, mình nói láo người ta để người ta cho mình, thì cái đó cũng là trộm cắp. Đấy, chứ không phải là nhất thiết là lấy mà người ta không đồng ý. Thế thì tất cả những cái đó nó làm hư hại cái tâm não của mình, cái thân của mình, và nó tạo ra cái nghiệp để cho mình phải đi trong sanh tử luân hồi. Cho nên nó không có xứng đáng để cho một người Phật tử phải đi trộm cắp. Đấy, đó là cái hành động. Thế rồi, nói về tích cực thì ngoài cái vấn đề mà không trộm cắp, chúng ta còn phải thực hành cái hạnh bố thí. Bố thí một cách rộng rãi, bố thí pháp. Đấy, bố thí tài, bố thí vô úy, thí làm sao để cho người ta được hoan hỷ, kể cả thân mạng cũng bố thí. Tại sao như thế? Tại vì khi bố thí như vậy thì sẽ thấy được các pháp đều là như huyễn, mà thấy được các pháp như huyễn thì sẽ lập tức được an trú ở trong cái tánh không. Mà nếu an trú ở trong cái không, tức là an trú trong cái Phật tánh, tức là chân tánh diệu minh của mình. Đấy, cho nên cái điều thứ nhì này, cái điều kiện thứ nhì để mà vào trong cái cõi niết bàn rất là quan trọng. Nếu quý vị nhìn thấy sâu xa, nó không phải đơn giản là chỉ lấy những cái đồ của người ta mà người ta không cho phép, mà nó lại còn đi sâu xa hơn nữa. Nó đi vào cái thể tánh, cái Phật tánh của mình, tức là làm cho thăng tiến trên cái con đường tu học. Chúng tôi trình bày với quý vị như vậy để cho quý vị thấy có cả hai mặt. Rồi quý vị ráng mà tu nhá, ngay cả trong giấc ngủ cũng đừng có chiêm bao là lấy đồ của người ta. Có nhiều người có vợ có chồng rồi thì cũng đừng có tham lam mà muốn lấy thêm một ông chồng thứ nhì hay là bà vợ thứ nhì nữa. Một người đã nhức đầu lắm rồi, phải không? Khổ lắm rồi, bây giờ lấy thêm một người nữa thì chỉ có nước chết thôi, sống không nổi đâu. Rồi, A Di Đà Phật. Xin chúc cho quý vị được an lạc, ngủ ngon nha. Cái đạo tràng này là giảng bằng tiếng Anh, thành thử ra mình phải có cái phong thái của người Tây Phương, tức là không nên cứng ngắc quá. Tại vì tất cả những cái em bé mà Việt Nam mà nó sống ở Tây Phương nó cũng đều có cái phong thái như vậy, nó đều hoan hỷ vui vẻ thôi, nó đều ưa thích đùa giỡn, nhưng mà nó vẫn là siêng năng học. Chứ chúng ta mà làm cứng ngắc quá thì nó sẽ không có thành tựu đâu. Cho nên nó muốn cho những đứa bé hay là những cái người nước ngoài mà họ vào thì nó phải vui vẻ. Chúng ta sẽ tập với nhau để làm sao cho tạo một cái không khí rất là vui vẻ nhưng vẫn trang nghiêm ở trong cái đạo tràng, và vẫn hiểu được cái giáo lý đạo Phật. Đừng có cứng ngắc quá nó không có lợi lạc. Chúng ta phải nhu nhuyễn. Nhu nhuyễn là một cái nghệ thuật gọi là thiện xảo ở trong Phật pháp. Rồi, Nam Mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Tới đây coi như cái phần pháp thoại pháp đàm đã được viên mãn. Chúng tôi chấm dứt cái thời pháp ngày hôm nay nha. Xin chào tất cả quý vị. Và bây giờ chúng ta cắt cái phần video được rồi chứ gì. Rồi, thôi chấm dứt cái phần video ha. Không cúp video hả? Thôi để đó tùy là Diệu Mỹ muốn làm sao làm nha. Rồi câu hỏi thì câu hỏi trả lời, nhưng mà có điều đâu có dính gì tới video phải không? Bài học là coi như xong rồi. Câu hỏi có cần phải thâu âm không? Rồi thì thôi tùy. Rồi nữ hoàng hỏi đi. Trái táo xanh nè. Trái táo xanh nè, trái táo chín nè. Trái táo xanh đâu mất rồi, xong hỏi đi. Hay là nó xanh quá, nó cứng ngắc, nó còn chua quá, thành thử ra không hỏi phải không? Trái táo xanh này chắc nó mới nở ra. Trái táo xanh còn có trước máy không? Chắc không có đâu, đi đâu rồi. Thôi, chúng ta để dịp khác đi. Người hỏi mà không có mặt đây, coi như không có ích lợi gì hết. Rồi vậy thì hỏi đi nha.
Thưa thầy, con kính thưa thầy, tu không luân chuyển, không có là nghĩ ngợi gì cần nè. Giải thoát là giải thoát như thế nào thưa thầy cho con biết.
Rồi, A Di Đà Phật. Lành thay, tu như thế nào để cho được giải thoát? Đấy. Có ai cột trói mình đâu mà mình phải giải thoát. Rồi tu như thế nào thì cứ đói ăn khát uống là mệt ngủ. Thì sẽ biết liền. Vào trong đạo tràng này đi, rồi nghe thử đi. Mới có chừng 1 năm nay thôi, cái đạo tràng này mới mở có 1 năm thôi, có khoảng chừng trên 300 bài giảng rồi đó, nghe hết 300 bài đi thì sẽ biết cách là tu chứ ha. Chứ giờ chưa có biết cái gì hết, làm sao biết tu là cái gì, rồi ai cột trói mà phải giải thoát cái chỗ nào? Có gia đình không? Có chồng chưa? Có con chưa? Đấy, rồi chồng có làm khổ không? Rồi con nó có cột chân lại không? Nếu không có thì chưa giải thoát chỗ nào? Phải có cái gì cột trói lại mới nói giải thoát được chứ. Có ở tù không? Không có ở tù phải không? Đi làm có tiền không? Có tiền phải không? Vậy thì có cái gì đâu mà giải thoát. Lắng nghe 300 bài giảng đi, rồi sẽ biết, không? Nó không có cái gì đâu mà phải ghê gớm. Thế mình tạo ra nghiệp thì mình là chủ nhân của nghiệp, và mình cũng là thừa tự của nghiệp. Có nghĩa là sao? Nếu mình tự tạo ra thì nó trói mình. Mình tạo ra cái nghiệp ác thì cái nghiệp ác nó sẽ trói mình lại. Còn nếu mình không tạo ra nghiệp ác thì cái gì trói mình? Chẳng có cái gì trói mình hết. Trừ mình cột mình thì cũng tự mình giải thoát. Đúng không nào? Đang ở độc thân, 17, 18 tuổi đang ở độc thân xinh đẹp, đi chơi, không chịu. Thấy cái ông chàng nó mê xong lấy ổng thì cột mình vào thì mình phải nấu cơm cho ông ăn. Rồi lại cự nữ, sao tôi khổ quá vậy, tôi bị trói buộc. Tự mình trói mình chứ ai trói mình. Thấy không nào? Cho nên buông xả thì giải thoát. Buông xả thì giải thoát, còn nếu không buông được thì gánh. Vậy thôi. Thấy không nào? Phải không? Hay đi. Tự mình lấy chồng, rồi tự mình nó ham con, rồi mình đẻ con ra thì mình phải lo cho nó đi. Chứ giờ nói mình bị cột, ai cột mình đâu, mình cột thì bây giờ mình phải tự giải thoát thôi. Hay nuôi cho nó lớn xong rồi đá đít nó ra, nói thôi bây giờ tụi bay lớn rồi, tao đạp cho tụi bay mỗi đứa một cái đi ra khỏi nhà tao. Tức là giải thoát đấy chứ có gì đâu. Còn bây giờ đó đợi nó có vợ có chồng, nó xong rồi cái nó đẻ con xong rồi nó mang cháu về nhà, rồi lại nói thôi bà nội ơi, bà ngoại ơi, bà lo giùm cháu. Tức là tự thêm mình cột cái nữa, phải không? Phải không nào? Đã cột có chồng có con rồi lại có cháu rồi lại có trách nữa, cứ tối ngày mà chăm sóc tụi nó không, rồi họ cứ than thở tại sao mình không biết là giải thoát. Giải thoát là tự mình. Rồi mình cứ tạo như vậy, nó huân tập ở trong cái tâm của mình đó, thì nó hết kiếp này tới kiếp khác, là nó cứ thế hoài. Kiếp này làm chồng, kiếp sau làm vợ, kiếp sau làm con, là cứ như vậy nó sanh tử luân hồi hoài. Để mình ngưng á là nó ngưng hết. Ngưng là nó ngưng hết thôi. Ngưng là một niệm cũng không sanh nữa, buông xả hết. Thế thì nó ngưng. Còn giờ mình không ngưng được mà. Cái gì mình cũng muốn, có nhà nè, cũng muốn có xe nè, muốn có chồng nè, muốn có job nè, rồi muốn có tiền nè. Những thứ đó là gì? Những thứ đó là cái cột đó chứ, những thứ đó là tù chứ. Ngục tù, sắc thiên hương vị xúc là ngục tù. 6 căn đều là ngục tù. Trói mình vào cũng nơi 6 căn. Mắt tai mũi, con mắt đó, nhìn thấy ưa thích thì là ngục tù. Còn mắt nhìn mà dửng dưng nó không phân biệt nữa thì đâu có phải ngục tù đâu. Thấy chiếc xe đẹp, cái khởi lên cái niệm muốn có chiếc xe đẹp thì sao? Phải đi làm, kiếm tiền mua chiếc xe, rồi trả nợ. Như vậy là ngục tù, tự mình trói mình chứ có ai trói mình đâu. Phải không nào? Rồi, A Di Đà Phật, đơn giản quá mà. Nhưng mà nói vậy chứ không dễ hiểu đâu. Nghe 300 bài giảng ở trong cái đạo tràng đạo Phật vào đời.com đi, vào trang mạng đó đi. Rồi mỗi buổi tối chịu khó tới 7 giờ Việt Nam 7 giờ tối Việt Nam chịu khó vô đạo tràng nghe giảng đi. Rồi cái tu tập từ từ. Mình không thể nào mà một bữa mình ăn được 10 tấn gạo, phải không? Mỗi bữa mình ăn chút ăn có 2-3 chén nhưng mà ăn riết mấy chục năm cái nó hết mấy tấn gạo. Tu cũng vậy, đâu phải tu lần liền được đâu. nó phải tu từ từ. Hồi nhỏ tới lớn nó bị đặt đi lấy chồng đó, rồi có bồ đó, rồi có chồng đó, rồi có con đó, rồi giờ con nó đẻ ra, rồi cái có cháu nó mang lại, nó đưa bà nội bà ngoại chăm sóc giùm. Thế thì cái đó là gì? Toàn là mình lấy dây thừng mình cột mình thôi. Thì giờ chính mình phải gỡ cái dây thừng nó ra thôi. Đúng, sư cô Tâm Thanh nói đó đúng, liberation tức là giải phóng, giải phóng ra thì vào niết bàn thôi, có gì đâu. Đó, không buông đi, để buông xả được thì vào ngay niết bàn thôi, thoát ra khỏi sanh tử luân hồi. Đó, có gì đâu. Tại vì mình chấp có mình nè, có tiền của mình nè, ông xã của mình nè, nhà của mình nè, thành thử cái gì mình cũng vướng mắc hết á. Đấy, cái nhà của mình mà lỡ nó sập xuống, nó động đất nó sập xuống thì đau buồn cực khổ, thì cái đó là làm sao giải thoát, phải không? Đấy, tự mình tạo ra cái địa ngục thì cũng tự mình đi ra khỏi cái địa ngục đó thôi. Rồi, A Di Đà Phật. Tối cứ vào 7 giờ tối giờ Việt Nam á, vào thì có thời giảng bằng tiếng Việt. Còn 7 giờ sáng giờ Việt Nam thì có thời giảng bằng tiếng Anh. Ngoại trừ bữa nay chúng tôi phải đi làm lễ cho nên chúng tôi không có giảng được buổi sáng, thì giờ này giảng thôi. Rồi, chúc quý vị an lạc tự tại nha.